Hi, I'm Keith Ward. I'm the CEO of InterveXion Therapeutics, and we're pleased to introduce our company to you today. At InterveXion, we develop novel immunotherapies for patients with substance use disorders, and specifically methamphetamine use disorder. Methamphetamine is a major public health crisis. It's now, in fact, considered a key component of the ongoing fourth wave of the addiction crisis in the US. The numbers are quite staggering. Methamphetamine costs over $20 billion to the US healthcare system each year and is associated with over $2 billion in hospital costs alone. In fact, methamphetamine is the second most commonly used illegal substance in the world, ahead of opioids. And in 19 US states, methamphetamine exceeds opioids as the major cause of drug-induced overdose death. There are two major populations that suffer from issues associated with methamphetamine use: those with addiction and those with overdose. Both of these populations have a high unmet medical need and no current treatment options. For treatment-seeking patients with meth use disorder, over 250,000 people a year enter treatment for meth use disorder in the US, and this treatment is simple cognitive behavioral therapy with very low efficacy. For overdose patients, over 300,000 people a year present in the US to an emergency department with symptoms associated with methamphetamine overdose, and there are no solutions for those patients today. Part of the reason for this is because the rush of methamphetamine is so great, it very rapidly enters the CNS and stimulates its effects. There's no single meth receptor, unlike the opioid receptor, that can be competed in a traditional pharmacologic antagonism. So to date, traditional therapies have not been highly successful to treat people with meth use disorder. Behavioral rehab is the only real option for treatment-seeking meth users. It's expensive, and 60 to 90% of people relapse within 12 months of starting treatment. And in overdose settings, as I mentioned, patients can be sedated, but that can lead to long emergency department stays and also can unmask respiratory depression associated with concomitant opioid use disorder and make it very challenging to manage patients. At InterveXion, then, we're developing novel approaches to this problem. We've developed a novel monoclonal antibody called DEVX-10 which is a highly selective binder of meth. We introduce DEVX-10 into the systemic circulation, where it binds methamphetamine and sequesters meth out of its sites of action. So the basic mechanism of action is to retain meth in the bloodstream away from the brain, thereby reducing the rate and extent of methamphetamine CNS penetration and allowing patients to recover, whether that's acutely in an overdose setting or chronically in a treatment setting. Some attributes of DEVX-10, it's featured in the National Institute on Drug Abuse's strategic plan, and in fact, NIDA has been a major supporter of our effort for many years. We've received fast track status from the FDA for the use of DEVX-10 in meth use disorder, and we've completed 2 phase 2 clinical studies in patients with meth use disorder as well as in overdose patients. DEVX-10 then represents an attractive phase 2 first-in-class opportunity with a large addressable market and really no clinical stage competition. We also have a pipeline of follow-on products for improved adherence and life cycle management with a novel long-acting antibody to potentially improve dosing frequency. And we have a methamphetamine vaccine that's in preclinical development that might provide an even longer-term treatment option. Our team has expertise in substance abuse therapy, product development, and venture fundraising. And we're excited to continue our work to help address this major public health crisis. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Thanks.